Cardano secures more partnerships in Africa, while another dog coin buys ads on London buses. It's time for another news update. What's up? My name is Caroline, and this is Wealth in Progress, where you'll learn how to make passive income with cryptocurrencies. In this video, we'll look at the latest news in crypto, plus we'll take a quick look at the charts to see where the market might move next. Of course, as always, this is no financial advice. Always do your own research before you invest, and never invest money that you can't afford to lose. Now, before we get started, a quick word about our sponsor, Bitpanda. Bitpanda is about the easiest way to get into crypto, even for total beginners. They have a super easy interface that allows you to buy all of the top cryptocurrencies, but also stocks or other assets. You can deposit a lot of different currencies and then swap it in just a few clicks. Plus, if you struggle with DCA, they've even got a built-in function for just that. Their savings plan allows you to regularly invest money without you having to think about it. So you just predetermine how much you want to invest on a weekly or monthly basis, and it will automatically do that for you. Try them out now by going into the description and clicking on the first link. All right, let's dive in. Okay, first off, we gotta talk about another meme coin, about another dog coin that is actually called Flocky. So this article titles "Meme coin Flocky named after Elon Musk's dog advertised on London's public transport." So apparently they're starting an advertising campaign in London. So it says here, according to a report from the Financial Times, adverts reading "Miss Doge get Flocky" are permitting London's underground stations. Such AdWords are supposedly funded through a tax on first-time Flocky Inu buyers. So they've apparently planned that for a while, and they spent 1.5 million on marketing for Flocky. Now it says here, after Musk revealed his new dog last month, Flocky more than doubled in value. Its self-reported market cap currently sits at over 500 million. Now what's funny is, as far as I know, Flocky has actually previously existed, and then only after that, only a month ago, Elon Musk actually tweeted that his new dog is called Flocky. So I'm not sure which way around it was, but what's really interesting is that I bought Flocky a very long time ago, so probably 2 or 3 months ago. And since then, I think it has about 10x or something like that. By the way, if you want to see my whole portfolio and all my trades, I share all of that in the DFR Academy. And we've currently got a Halloween special going on that gets you a 40% discount. So if you want to join us now, there are limited spots, then go down in the description and subscribe to my newsletter to get all the information about how you can snag one of those limited discounted spots. So anyway, I bought that a while ago. And now as we move towards the end of Q4, I think those meme coins could totally pop off. And this is the third one, so I could totally see that a bunch of people who've missed the first two waves would now jump on Flocky. So here you can see what the ad looks like, so that's pretty prominent. So we've yet to see how long this will stay there. Next up, we've got some news about our sponsor Bitpanda. So this article titles "Bitpanda taps former JP Morgan exec to lead fully regulated crypto exchange." So it says here, the crypto ecosystem picked yet another executive from traditional finance. 2 months after raising 263 million, the Europe-based cryptocurrency trading platform Bitpanda announced that Joshua Barraclough, a former exec at JP Morgan, joined its ranks as the CEO of its fully regulated digital asset exchange Bitpanda Pro. So this is a really interesting movement that shows us that we are really now moving into the next phase of cryptocurrencies. So we're really moving into widespread adoption where even high-level executives move over from traditional finance to cryptocurrency platforms and exchanges. That, along with ads being posted on London buses, that just shows us that we're really moving into that next phase. With so much widespread adoption, it's going to be really interesting to see if we actually have another 3-month bear market after this bull run, or if we're not just going to be more in a leveled out scenario where we just have, quite steep corrections like we had in May, but then it goes up again. We'll have to see about that. I could totally see that we're also moving into a new phase where we maybe have 6-month bear markets and then maybe 1-year bull market, something along those lines. But I really find news like this very interesting, where we see that cryptocurrency is slowly moving up to the same level as traditional finance. So really interesting stuff. Next up, let's look at some Cardano news. So this article says Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson signs MOU with government of Burundi. So Charles Hoskinson signed an MOU on October 26th with the government of Burundi. And it says here, an MOU is an agreement between two or more parties outlined in a formal document. Although it is not legally binding, it does demonstrate willingness of the parties to move forward with a contract. So you can actually see Charles tweeted about that. So we've got a couple of funny pictures here. So then this part is also interesting. It says, it is worth remembering that in May 2018, during a previous tour of Africa, the Cardano founders signed an MOU with Dr. Getahong Mekuria, that's Ethiopia's former Minister of Innovation and Technology. Then, just short of 3 years later, John O'Connor, IOHK's African Operations Director, announced in an IOHK blog post published on April 27th an exciting new partnership with the Ethiopian government to implement a national blockchain-based student and teacher ID and attainment recording system to digitally verify grades, remotely monitor school performance, and boost education and employment nationwide. So what that shows is that an MOU can have a large impact in the long term. So this is really the first step, and then a couple of years later that could actually lead to a real partnership. Now, speaking of Ethiopia, that's where Hoskinson went next. So this article says, Hoskinson talks digitization with Ethiopian Ministry of Education as part of Cardano Africa tour. So that's the next step of their partnership. So that's really going to go to the next level, where the Ministry of Education of Ethiopia will most likely implement Cardano as a base or as a base technology for their educational system. So really nice to see how they're progressing here. Next up, we've got some interesting on-chain data. So this article tells Bitcoin on-chain analysis, old addresses not taking profit despite recent all-time high. So they're talking about the Bitcoin liveliness indicator, and they say liveliness reached an all-time high reading of 0.622 on August 5th, so that's a black circle. This transpired during the rebound after the July lows near 30,000. At the time, this looked like a bearish sign since it meant that all coins were being moved. This usually transpires during relief rallies or top of market cycles. However, liveliness has been decreasing since, and it's currently at 0.6175, despite the price recently reaching an all-time high. This is a bullish sign that suggests that older coins are not being spent, and supports the possibility that the current upward move is a continuation of the bullish market cycle. Then they also talk about the average spent output lifespan, ASOL. So it says ASOL reached its initial high of 84.3 on January 13th. This meant that for each transaction, the BTC had previously not moved for an average of 84.3 days. Similar to liveliness, ASOL spiked considerably on August 22nd, reaching a high of 110. This occurred after the BTC price had bounced from 30,000 to 49,000. At the time, this suggested that the upward move was a relief rally, but ASOL has been decreasing since. So the yellow line here is the average spent output lifespan. You can see how this spiked here and now it dropped down significantly. So that's really nice to see. So they conclude by saying, therefore, both liveliness and ASOL show that there was some profit taking on the initial bounce to 50k, but that has subsided in the ongoing upward move, and all the coins are now dormant. Now we're actually sharing weekly technical and on-chain analysis reports in the DeFi Academy. So if you're looking to get deep dives into this data, then don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter to join us with this Halloween special that we've currently got going on. Now with that out of the way, let's quickly look at the charts for Cardano. Okay, so I'm now on the daily chart for Cardano, and it doesn't look that exciting, I have to admit. It's been a long sideways cycle, and there hasn't been much movement. So that has actually been coiling it into a channel or almost into a wedge, and then it broke towards the downside. So that's generally not a very bullish sign. But what is good to see is you can see here we've got a double bottom forming here. So we've got that low here, and that has bounced off exactly at the same price at about 190. So that's literally the exact same price, and it went lower than this one. But if that double bottom holds and we've got some, and we're not going to go lower, then that's usually a relatively stable sign. So what that could mean is that this has been the last shakeout of some weak hands. And now if the whole market moves up higher, this has totally some potential to move towards the upwards, towards the upside now. You can also see on the RSI we're at the lower end, so we're getting towards the oversold side of things. And if we move back, you can see it went on the oversold side of things in July, and that was when it was at $1, even below $1, and then we had that huge rally. So it might drop again, the RSI it might drop again into the oversold territory, and that's usually when the upwards move really begins again. So yeah, at the moment it's still a bit of waiting on the sidelines and seeing what happens. Now, what I just think is important is that we've got an exit strategy. So I set up my exit strategy recently that allows me to take profit on the way up, because I still anticipate that there will be a strong correction. Even if it's not a 3-year-long bear market, I still anticipate a correction in the beginning of next year. So it's important to have your exit strategy in place. That's also something that we share in the DeFi Academy. Don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter. Last time that I'm saying it. So yeah, this is what I think is important, that you're really ready to move into this next phase of the market, because also in a bear market you can make huge profits by going out on the high and then slowly DCAing in again in the lows. Alright, so that's it for this video. These are the newest news. That's what's been happening in crypto, and I think we're definitely moving into more bullish territory soon. So excited to see what will happen next. By the way, if you don't hold any Cardano or any other of the big cryptocurrencies yet, you can get all of them on Bitpanda. It's super easy, super straightforward. So go down in the description and you'll find the link there if you're interested to get any more of the big coins. If you like this video, hit the like button down below, share with your friends, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!